Welcome to Dreamtale Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is The Lost Stone. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Keep your eyes closed or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. The Lost Stone begins now, and when the story's final line has faded, the music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently deeper into sleep. The Lost Stone. Sammy was a young garden snake who lived in the heart of Willowbrook Forest with his family. Unlike other snakes who preferred to stay hidden, Sammy was curious about the world around him and loved making new friends with the forest creatures. One morning, Sammy's grandmother, Elder Serpentine, called him to her favorite sunny rock, where she often told stories about their family's history. "Sammy, my dear grandson," she said with a worried expression, "I must tell you something very important. Our family's most precious treasure, the Moonstone of Harmony, has disappeared." Sammy's eyes widened with concern. He had heard stories about this magical stone since he was very small. The Moonstone was said to bring peace and understanding between all forest creatures, and it had been passed down through generations of his family. "When did you last see it, grandmother?" Sammy asked, curling up beside her on the warm rock. 3 days ago, it was safely hidden in our secret cave behind the old oak tree. But when I went to check on it yesterday morning, it was gone, Elder Serpentine explained. "Without the Moonstone, I fear that conflicts between the forest animals will begin again, just like they did many years ago." Sammy remembered the old stories about how animals used to fight over territory and food before the Moonstone brought harmony to the forest. He couldn't let that happen again. "Don't worry, grandmother. I will find the Moonstone and bring it back," Sammy declared with determination. Elder Serpentine smiled proudly at her brave grandson. "I knew I could count on you, Sammy. But remember, this quest is dangerous. You must be careful and trust your instincts. The forest is large, and you may need help from others." Early the next morning, Sammy set out on his journey. He slithered through the dense undergrowth, following various trails and asking every creature he met if they had seen anything unusual. His first encounter was with Oliver, a wise old owl who lived in the tallest pine tree in the forest. "Good morning, Oliver," Sammy called up to the owl. "I'm looking for my family's Moonstone of Harmony. It's been stolen, and I need to find it before something terrible happens to our forest." Oliver ruffled his feathers thoughtfully. "Ah, young Sammy, I did notice some strange activities 3 nights ago. I saw a group of raccoons moving through the forest, carrying something that glowed in the moonlight. They were heading toward the eastern part of the forest, near Crystal Creek. Thank you so much, Oliver, Sammy exclaimed. That's exactly the kind of information I needed. Be careful, young friend, Oliver warned. Not all creatures in the eastern forest are as friendly as those here in the heart of Willowbrook. Sammy thanked Oliver again and began his journey toward the eastern forest. The path was more difficult than he had expected, with thick brambles and steep hills. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Sammy began to feel tired and thirsty. Just as he was about to rest under a shady bush, he heard someone crying nearby. Following the sound, he discovered a young rabbit sitting beside a stream, tears rolling down her furry cheeks. "Hello there," Sammy said gently, trying not to startle the rabbit. "I'm Sammy. What's wrong? Why are you so sad?" The rabbit looked up with surprise. "Oh, a snake! Please don't hurt me," she cried, jumping backward. "I would never hurt you," Sammy assured her with a kind voice. "I only want to help. My name is Sammy, and I'm from the garden snake family. We're completely harmless." The rabbit relaxed slightly. "I'm Luna. I'm crying because I lost my way home. I was playing with my friends near the berry bushes, and I wandered off, and I wandered too far. Now I don't know how to get back to my warren." Sammy felt sorry for Luna. "Don't worry, Luna. I know this forest quite well. I can help you find your way home after I complete an important mission. Would you like to come with me? Maybe we can help each other." Luna's eyes brightened. "Really? You would help me? That's so kind of you, Sammy. What kind of mission are you on?" Sammy explained about the stolen moonstone and how important it was for maintaining peace in the forest. Luna listened carefully and nodded with understanding. "I've heard my mother tell stories about that magical stone," Luna said. "She said it's the reason why predators and prey can live together peacefully in Willowbrook Forest. We must find it." Together, Sammy and Luna continued toward the eastern forest. Luna's excellent hearing and Sammy's ability to move through tight spaces made them a good team. As they traveled, they became fast friends, sharing stories about their families and their dreams for the future. By late afternoon, they reached Crystal Creek, a beautiful stream that marked the boundary between the heart of Willowbrook Forest and the eastern wilderness. The water was crystal clear, and colorful fish swam peacefully in the gentle current. "This is where Oliver said he saw the raccoons," Sammy told Luna. "We should look for clues around here." They searched along the creek bank for any signs of the raccoons or the moonstone. Luna's sharp eyes spotted something unusual near a large boulder. "Sammy, look at this!" Luna called excitedly. "There are strange markings on this rock, and the grass here looks like it's been trampled by many feet." Sammy slithered over to examine Luna's discovery. Indeed, there were scratches on the boulder that looked like they had been made by raccoon claws, and the surrounding area showed clear signs that several animals had been there recently. "You're absolutely right, Luna. This must be where they stopped to rest," Sammy said. "But which direction did they go from here?" As if in answer to his question, they heard rustling in the nearby bushes. A small red squirrel emerged, chattering nervously. "Excuse me," the squirrel said, approaching cautiously. "I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. I'm Finn, and I live in that oak tree over there. I saw some raccoons here 2 nights ago." Sammy and Luna exchanged hopeful glances. Can you tell us which direction they went? Sammy asked politely. Finn pointed toward a narrow trail that led deeper into the eastern forest. They went that way, toward the old abandoned mine. But I must warn you, that area is controlled by Max, the raccoon leader. He's not known for being friendly to strangers. We have to try anyway, Sammy said with determination. The moonstone is too important to give up now. Finn looked at the determined young snake and rabbit with admiration. You know what? I'd like to help you. I know secret paths through the eastern forest that might help you avoid some of the more dangerous areas. That would be wonderful, Finn, Luna said gratefully. The more friends we have, the better our chances of success. The three new friends set off together toward the abandoned mine. Finn led them along hidden trails that wound between tall trees and over moss-covered rocks. As they traveled, he told them more about Max and his gang of raccoons. Max used to be a reasonable raccoon, Finn explained. But ever since the old mine was abandoned by humans, he's claimed it as his territory and becomes very aggressive toward anyone who comes near. He and his gang collect shiny objects and store them in the mine tunnels. That explains why they might have taken the moonstone, Sammy realized. They probably thought it was just another shiny treasure to add to their collection. As evening approached, they could see the entrance to the old mine in the distance. It was a dark opening in the hillside, surrounded by piles of rocks and rusty mining equipment left behind by humans long ago. There it is, Finn whispered. We need to be very careful from here. Max posts guards around the entrance. Sure enough, as they got closer, they could see two raccoons sitting near the mine entrance, keeping watch over their territory. How are we going to get past the guards? Luna asked worriedly. Sammy thought for a moment. I have an idea. Finn, you're small and quick. Could you create a distraction on the other side of the mine while Luna and I sneak in through the entrance? I can do better than that, Finn said with a mischievous grin. I know a secret entrance on the back side of the hill. It's a narrow tunnel that connects to the main mine shaft. We can all go in together without being spotted. The three friends carefully made their way around the hill to where Finn had found the secret entrance years ago while playing hide-and-seek with his siblings. The opening was small, perfect for a squirrel, tight for a rabbit, and just manageable for a young snake. Inside the tunnel, it was very dark. Finn used his excellent night vision to guide them through the winding passages. The air smelled of damp earth and old minerals. Be very quiet, Finn whispered. Sound travels far in these tunnels, and we don't want to alert Max's gang. After what felt like hours of careful crawling and slithering, they emerged into a larger chamber, lit by moonlight streaming through cracks in the ceiling. The sight that greeted them was amazing and overwhelming at the same time. The chamber was filled with piles of shiny objects, coins, jewelry, mirrors, pieces of colored glass, and countless other treasures that the raccoons had collected over the years. Everything sparkled and gleamed in the pale moonlight. How will we ever find the moonstone in all of this? Luna whispered in dismay. But Sammy's keen snake senses were already helping him. I can feel something, he said softly. There's a special energy coming from somewhere in this room. The moonstone is here. I'm sure of it. They began searching carefully through the treasure piles, trying not to make any noise that might bring the raccoons running. Finn used his quick movements to check the higher areas, while Luna's sensitive nose helped her detect unusual scents. Sammy relied on the growing sense of magical energy that seemed to pull him in a specific direction. Finally, in a corner of the chamber, behind a pile of old coins, Sammy found what they were looking for. The Moonstone of Harmony was exactly as his grandmother had described it, a beautiful, smooth stone that seemed to glow with its own inner light, shifting from silver to blue to white, like the phases of the moon. "Found it," Sammy whispered excitedly. But just as he reached for the stone, they heard heavy footsteps echoing through the tunnels. "Someone's coming," Finn warned. "We need to hide." The three friends quickly ducked behind a large pile of treasures, just as Max and two other raccoons entered the chamber. "I'm telling you, I heard something in here," one of the raccoons was saying to Max. Max was a large, intimidating raccoon with dark rings around his eyes and sharp claws. He sniffed the air suspiciously. "You might be right, Rico. Someone has been in our treasure room." Sammy's heart was pounding as he watched Max examine the area where they had been searching. The Moonstone was only a few feet away, but with three angry raccoons standing guard, it seemed impossible to retrieve it. Then Sammy remembered his grandmother's advice about trusting his instincts and getting help from others. Maybe they didn't have to sneak around after all. Maybe honesty was the best approach. Taking a deep breath, Sammy slithered out from behind the treasure pile. "Hello, Max. My name is Sammy, and I need to talk to you." Max and his gang immediately turned toward Sammy with surprise and anger. "A snake, and a rabbit, and squirrel too," Max growled. "How dare you invade our territory?" "Please, let me explain," Sammy said calmly, even though he was frightened. "We're not here to steal your treasures. We're only looking for one specific item that belongs to my family." Luna and Finn emerged from their hiding place to stand beside their friend, showing their support and courage. "You have a lot of nerve coming into our mine," Max said menacingly. "What makes you think anything here belongs to you?" Sammy pointed toward the corner where the Moonstone lay glowing softly. "That stone over there, the one that glows with moonlight. It's called the Moonstone of Harmony. It's been in my family for generations, and it's very important for maintaining peace in our forest." Max looked skeptical. "That old rock? We found it near the creek 3 days ago. It's just another pretty stone for our collection." "But it's much more than that," Luna spoke up bravely. "The Moonstone is what keeps all the animals in Willowbrook Forest living together peacefully. Without it, predators and prey will start fighting again, just like in the old days." Finn nodded in agreement. "My grandfather told me stories about the terrible conflicts that used to happen before the Moonstone brought harmony to the forest. We can't let that happen again." Max seemed to consider their words, but his expression remained stern. "Even if what you're saying is true, why should I care about peace in the rest of the forest? We raccoons can take care of ourselves." "Because the forest is home to all of us," Sammy replied earnestly. "When there's fighting and conflict, everyone suffers. Food becomes harder to find. Safe places to raise families disappear, and life becomes dangerous for everyone, even strong raccoons like you." One of Max's companions, a smaller raccoon named Ruby, stepped forward. "Max, maybe we should listen to them." I remember my grandmother telling similar stories about a magical stone that brought peace to the forest. Max looked annoyed at being challenged by one of his gang members. Ruby, you're being foolish. These stories are just fairy tales. But Ruby continued bravely. What if they're not fairy tales? What if the stone really is magical? Look at it, Max. Have you ever seen any other rock glow like that? For the first time, Max took a careful look at the moonstone. Even he had to admit that there was something special about the way it seemed to emit its own soft light. Besides, Ruby added, we have plenty of other treasures. What's one stone compared to all of this? Max was silent for a long moment, thinking over everything he had heard. Finally, he spoke. Prove to me that this stone is really magical, and I'll consider giving it back. Sammy thought carefully about how to demonstrate the moonstone's power. Then he had an idea. Max, have you noticed anything different about your relationships with other animals since you found the moonstone? Max frowned, thinking back over the past few days. Well, now that you mention it, we haven't had any territorial disputes with the eastern forest animals lately. And yesterday, a family of deer actually shared their water source with us without any arguing. And Ruby added excitedly, remember when that lost fox cub wandered into our territory 2 days ago? Normally, we would have chased it away, but instead, we helped it find its way back to its family. Max's eyes widened as he began to understand. You're saying the stone was affecting our behavior without us even knowing it? The moonstone's magic is subtle, Sammy explained. It doesn't force anyone to do anything. It just makes it easier for creatures to understand each other and find peaceful solutions to their problems. Now all the raccoons were looking at the moonstone with new respect and understanding. If what you're saying is true, Max said slowly, then taking this stone might have put the whole forest in danger. I'm afraid so, Sammy replied gently. But it's not too late to fix things. If you return the moonstone to my family, we can restore harmony to Willowbrook Forest. Max walked over to the moonstone and picked it up carefully. As soon as he touched it, his expression softened and he seemed more peaceful and thoughtful. I can feel something, Max said with wonder. It's like a warm, calming feeling spreading through my whole body. That's the moonstone's magic, Sammy explained. It helps everyone feel more connected to each other and to the forest itself. Max looked at Sammy, Luna, and Finn with new eyes. I'm sorry for taking your family's treasure. I didn't understand how important it was. Here, take it back where it belongs. He gently handed the moonstone to Sammy, who felt the familiar warmth and peace that his grandmother had described. Thank you, Max, Sammy said gratefully. Your understanding means everything to us and to the entire forest. Ruby stepped forward shyly. Sammy, would it be possible for us to visit the moonstone sometimes? Not to take it, but just to feel its peaceful energy. Sammy smiled warmly. Of course, my family would be honored to share the moonstone's benefits with all creatures of the forest. That's what it's meant for, bringing everyone together. Max nodded approvingly. Ruby, that's a wonderful idea. Maybe we raccoons have been too isolated here in the eastern forest. Perhaps it's time for us to be part of the larger forest community. The journey back to Willowbrook Forest was much more pleasant than the journey to the mine had been. Max and Ruby accompanied Sammy, Luna, and Finn, and along the way, they encountered several other forest creatures who were amazed to see raccoons and other animals traveling together peacefully. As they walked, Sammy told Max and Ruby more about life in the heart of Willowbrook Forest, where different species work together to solve problems and share resources. The raccoons were fascinated to learn about the cooperation they had been missing by staying isolated in their mine. When they finally reached Elder Serpentine's sunny rock, the old snake was overjoyed to see her grandson returning safely with the moonstone and several new friends. "Oh, Sammy," she exclaimed, "you've done something wonderful. Not only have you recovered our family treasure, but you've also brought new friends into our forest community." Sammy carefully placed the moonstone in its proper resting place, and immediately, the area seemed to glow with renewed harmony and peace. Birds began singing more sweetly, flowers seemed to bloom more brightly, and all the forest creatures who had gathered to welcome the returning heroes appeared more relaxed and friendly. "Grandmother," Sammy said proudly, "I'd like you to meet Max and Ruby, our new friends from the eastern forest. They helped return the moonstone when they understood how important it was." Elder Serpentine smiled warmly at the raccoons. "Welcome to our forest community. You are always welcome here." Over the following days, word spread throughout Willowbrook Forest about Sammy's brave quest and the new friendship with the eastern forest raccoons. Animals who had never spoken to each other before began working together on projects, sharing food during difficult times, and helping lost creatures find their way home. Luna's family was so grateful to Sammy for helping their daughter that they invited him to dinner every week. Finn became one of Sammy's closest friends, and they often went on smaller adventures together, exploring new parts of the forest. Max and Ruby established regular visits between the eastern forest and Willowbrook, creating trade relationships and cultural exchanges that benefited everyone. The mine became a meeting place where creatures from all parts of the forest could come together to solve problems and plan community activities. Most importantly, Sammy discovered that the greatest treasure wasn't the moonstone itself, but the friendships and understanding he had gained during his quest. He learned that sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to trust others and work together, even with those who seem different or frightening at first. Elder Serpentine was extremely proud of her grandson, not just for recovering the family treasure, but for the wisdom and courage he had shown in turning potential enemies into friends. "You have learned the most important lesson of all, Sammy," she told him one evening as they watched the moonstone glow softly in the fading sunlight. "True harmony doesn't come from magic alone. It comes from understanding, friendship, and the willingness to see the good in others. Sammy curled up contentedly next to his grandmother, surrounded by all his new friends. He realized that his adventure had taught him something valuable about the world and about himself. Sometimes, the things we're looking for are not just objects to be found, but connections to be made and friendships to be built. As the stars began to appear in the darkening sky, the moonstone pulsed gently with silver light, sending waves of peace and harmony throughout Willowbrook Forest and beyond. And in the heart of it all, a young snake who had started the day as a searcher had ended it as a bridge builder, bringing together a community that would thrive in friendship and cooperation for generations to come. The forest was once again complete, not just because the moonstone had been returned, but because its creatures had learned to see each other not as strangers or enemies, but as neighbors and friends, sharing the same beautiful home.